Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to Power Apps Code App series. In this video, we are going to talk about Office 365 Outlook connector. In the last video, what we have seen how we can use Office 365 user connector to basically build an user interface where we can show logged in users email address, his name and his the photo. Now the current logged in user might have other data also which resides in Microsoft 365. So we are going to take one step further here where we are going to use the Outlook connector and we will read basically the current logged in user's email and we will read the upcoming events of the user and build an user interface around that so that we can show it in a simple manner. So just like previous video, we will follow the same structure which we established in the Hello World setup, keeping everything modular and reusable. And we will also use the same structure which same project which we had used in the last one. I'm going to also upload the sample which we are concluding today into the GitHub repo. So if anybody wants to try both, they can try it. And then we are taking it from there. So people who has not been the first video or something, and just to summarize the basic app setup, these are the steps which we generally do. I would highly recommend if you have not created any Power Apps, Code Apps app, then you watch the first video, which is the Hello World video, which is basically showing you and walking you through step by step of creating the whole project and running it, and then basically taking it from there. So this is basically the step. First, we will create a light React based white project, and then we will authenticate and we will select the environment in which we wanted to add or debug this thing. Then we will initialize the pack code. So we are using the pack CLI to basically initialize and add the required configuration JSON file for extending a standalone React application into a Power Apps Code Apps app. Then we will install some libraries which is going to give us the SDK which is going to give us the classes and attributes to interact with the Power Apps. And then we will create the provider.tsx file, main file, package, etc. So I will not go into detail again just to save time, but focus on the today's video itself. So with this, let's see what we are going to do today. So I have my project ready. So this is again going to be a show and tell video. So I'm going to walk you through what is been built. So here, if you see, what we have is we basically kind of have the login and the environment under which the debugging is going to work. And what we need to do is we need to add the data source to it, right? So as you would have seen in the previous video, to add the data source, what we need to do is we basically need to run some command. Okay, and I'll officially go into the documentation. So I'll say Power Apps Code Apps add data, and here you can see it is telling us how we can connect to the data, and the example it gives us is Office 365 connection, which we have seen in the previous video. But today we are also going to see how we can connect to the Office 365 Outlook connector. Okay, so one thing we have to understand is that once to basically use the current connectors which are available, we need to create the connection which is already available, or you can create a new one, right? So in this case, basically I have a connector which is Office 365 Outlook, because today's videos is focusing on that. What we are doing is we have the connector, and what we need is we need the data source name, the app source name or the data source name, and then the ID of the connection. Okay, so if you don't have the connection already, the first and the foremost prerequisite is you have to create the connection, and then that connection would be used in our Power Apps Dataverse. Now, so this is the ID which we have, and to add basically a data source, what you have to do is you have to run this command, which is basically pack add data source, and then the name of the uh, connector, which is shared underscore Office 365, and then this would be the ID. Okay, so this is the ID of that particular connector which we are using. I'm not going to run it again, but once you run this command, what it does, it basically kind of generates two things within the generated code folder. it is going to create one Outlook model where it is going to basically define all the objects or the attributes or the classes which we are going to be using as part of the Outlook connector as a request and the response object. So all of the model would be files would be, or the classes would be created here. And then there would be this service class, right? And this is the service class which we have seen, which was already there with the Office 365 user also. Now in here we have all the methods which are exposed as part of this with this Outlook connector which is there, right? Which is basically send email, getting the events, getting the contacts and all of that. So all the methods which are available within the connector, it will by default create that method for each one of them. In today's video, we are going to use two methods. One is to get the email address, get the emails of the user, and also to get the events of the user. So yes, we are going to use that two methods. Now let me first show you the demo of what we are building. Let me just run the npm dev. Okay. But ideally, if you see here, what we did is we had created a new React component which is called as Outlook connector demo, which is sitting below the header component which we seen in the last video. And then I'm passing some parameters, whether we want to show email events, what maximum number of emails, and how much time we have to look it into in the future to get the calendar events, like till how much time we have to do it. Okay. So okay, let me see where we are. Okay, I have to be under dev. Okay. So that is that. And then what we have is so I have created a component. I did some vibe coding and just kind of created a component. The component basically has the render event, sorry, the render method. So wherein it is first fetching the emails, right, and fetching the upcoming events, right? So this is the important, because this is where the actual calling is going to happen. And let's see one of them. Let's fetch email. So what we are doing is we are setting some state objects, that is fine, and then we are calling this get emails method. Now get email method is basically the method in the service class. Okay, and if you go inside that, what do we have is we have, and this is a generated file, so I have not written this piece of the code. It's just we are calling that, and by default it is using the Office 365 service client and executing the method, and the operation name is get email. So it is giving us the email and returning us the response based on the parameters which has been passed. So here we are saying the maximum parameters, which is basically the 10, and we are calling the method, and once we got the data, we are just converting into a particular array, because the object or the data which we are going to get is in dot data attribute method, and once we have that, we are reading it and then we are using it in our state. Same way for the fetching upcoming, we have this event called get events calendar version 3, calendar view version 3, which is going to give us the events for the current logged in user, or the calendar meetings in the current logged in user, right? And if you see here, we are also passing which calendar to be used, and we are also passing the start date and end time. And yeah, I have written a logic here that we are basically getting some days in the future, basically, right, which is the one which I have said. So 14,400 is basically 10 days in advance. Okay, so this is to get the result, and once the result is there, we are creating the UI. We will see how the UI would look like. So first let us see how the demo here. So if you come, and if I just run this, hopefully it should be running if everything looks all right. Yep. Okay, perfect. So if you see here, we have a whole component which says my Outlook data. This is the header which we have seen in the last video, which is displaying the username, profile, and everything. And then we have two parts in the header, and one to show the emails and one to show the events. Okay, and what it does is it basically reads the email from the Graph API and displays the latest events which are there in the current logged in user, and same goes for event also. I have some buttons here to basically kind of refresh the events and emails, to if you want to just load the events or refresh the emails, then it is going to go and refresh it. So this is the general user interface. So think about, a scenario where you are building a code app basically within Power Apps, and you wanted to get some data in your use case, in your business processes by by using any of the Outlook methods which is available within Microsoft 365 graph, right? Then this is how you would be able to do it. Now let's quickly also jump into and see the actual component file. This is something which is, a typical React application would do. But basically, if you see here, we have few methods for render emails, which is basically mapping the email object and then creating the HTML based whole card here. So this whole card is basically being created and then repeated. So we have the email body, who has sent it, some email preview, body description, and the email date. So this is what is been done here. If you see, for each email item, we have the subject which we see on the top, this one, and then we have the email date time received, which is basically this date time which we are seeing here, and then we have from, which is basically from email address here which we are showing, and then we are using email.body preview to basically get the response, right? Same way for rendering the events, what we have is we have similar kind of structure. If you see here, we are using similar kind of card. So we have the meeting subject, then we have the date, then we have the time here because time is important, and then who is the organizer here. So if you see here, we have the event subject, then we have the date, which is basically 2-digit date, then we have the event date, which is basically the start date of the meeting, and then we have the organizer. So this is how the HTML is being created, and I just built this using, GitHub Copilot to give this kind of user interface. So if you want to build something wherein you wanted to use any kind of library or front-end library like React or Fluent UI or any Mental or anything, then you can definitely use that to build it. But this is purely based on the HTML and CSS. So okay, that is it for today's video. Just to summarize, there are so many methods which are available. Like, let me also show you the methods which are there. So if we see Office 365, Outlook, Connector, Power Apps, right? And if you go here, then we have all the methods which are there, which is basically to which we can use it in our case, right? So if you come down here, okay, so these are all the method actions which are available which we can use, which is basically nothing but an individual endpoint, right? And today we particularly seen calendar view of version 3, which is what we show today, and also then we show the get emails version 3, right? So this is the one which is basically giving us the get emails from the current logged in user. So there are many depreciated action also which we should not be using it, but eventually the whole set of actions which you see here, everything is available for us to basically kind of use it into our Power Apps Codex, because once you have added the connector, it has generated the methods, and then when generated the method, what it did is it basically also have used the default authentication and everything to basically create the client object and then basically calling the graph API on from the code itself. Okay, so yeah, that's it from this today's video. Thank you again for watching, and we will keep on exploring Power Apps Code Apps, and we will see how we can integrate the Power Apps Code App with any new type of connector or a custom API or something in the next video. So if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and share it with the community. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.